Hello, so in this video I'm going to talk about your belief system and why is it important that you have a strong, grounded belief system. Because if you don't believe in yourself, stop everything. Your personal growth, your business growth, your overall mindset growth, stop everything. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot get out of any bad thing that you're in, and you're not going to get into any good place that you want to be in. So what has helped me in keeping my belief system strong and really having a structured way to make sure that I get to where I want to go, let's just say. Well, I've never not really believed in myself. I've always believed that certain things are going to be much harder than others, and I've also believed that no matter how hard I try, I may not get to a certain place if I'm not taking the right action. And let's not confuse that with not believing in yourself. Okay? Not believing in yourself is no matter what you do, no matter the good decisions that you make that are supposed to work, it's not going to happen. It just can't happen for me. It's just not me. Like, I'm just not one of those people. I'm over here and they are all over there. That's not true at all. At all. I bet you can find, let me put this the right way. I bet you can find anybody who's been in any sector of life. Okay? I'm just shouting out random things here. So, a rich white person in Massachusetts, a poor Asian person that lives in Russia, a disabled a disabled white man who lives in Kentucky, or a just beautiful a beautiful person who has everything they could ever need right at their fingertips, and they look good, they feel good, they have friends, they have confidence, they have all these great things. They are born into, rich family who are also a nice family. There's somebody out there like that who still struggles with believing in themselves. But I bet you, out of every single one of those people, it may seem easier for some to get more successful than others in their own way. However, what I will say is that none of them did it without believing in themselves. You cannot get to where you want to be without believing in yourself. You have to believe. If you don't believe, I hate to break it to you, no matter who says that they believe in you more than anybody else, nobody wants you to succeed more than you do, as much as they pretend to. And that's the secret. A lot of people think that, they can tell you that they believe in you, and they can tell you all these things and these reasons why you can do this stuff. And sometimes it helps, but a lot of these people don't truly mean it. And it's just the cold, hard truth. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is, do you believe in yourself? So what I've done to keep my belief structure strong so I don't run into these issues of feeling like I'm in a deep down place where I don't believe in myself, I've thought about the small things I already have done. Okay, so think of the wins. Think of the times where you were sitting in a place and you didn't want to be there anymore, and like a miracle, okay, one day or 1 year later or however long it was, or out of nowhere, you, instead of being in this little box that you've trapped yourself in, you're now over here. That is so undervalued, especially in today's age, where we scroll and we see videos of people on yachts and, throwing money at strangers and having $10 million supercars, right? A lot of people would love those things. What I will say is that nobody got to anywhere where they want to be in life without believing in themselves. That is number one thing, the number one rule, okay? And that goes for any goal. If you're a little bit older and you just want to spend more time with your grandchildren, you just want to spend time being there for the important little moments, that is a huge goal for yourself, and I would love to see you get there. You will only get there if you believe in yourself that you can do it. And, okay, huge addition, right? Believe in yourself is the big thing. You have to have that. In addition, you need to take the steps that are required for you to achieve that goal. If you do not take the steps which are required in order for you to achieve that goal, then no matter how much belief you have, it may not work. You cannot just believe in yourself and not do any actionable steps later. This may be very obvious to some people, but it's a huge problem that people are having. And even if you do already know this, it's extremely important that you audit yourself and you do a self-audit on the things that you may be struggling with and that you know you're not doing that you could do and that you should do. And maybe you're just not doing it. And ask yourself the simple questions. I know I'm not doing this. Okay, XYZ, whatever the thing is that you're not doing. I know I'm not doing this. Why am I not doing this? And you listed all the reasons. Okay, and then what I need to do in order to be able to do that. Some may say, well, I would need these alternative things to happen. Some may say, well, I need these things that were holding me back to be gone, then I'll jump right in it. Some people lie about that, some people tell the truth. Do not lie to yourself, because you're the only person that you will have confidently 100% for the rest of your life. Okay? No matter what happens, you will have yourself. Always remember that. So, when you have all of those things listed out and you kind of break it down into, well, why am I not doing this? What is stopping me? What would I need to do that? What would it take? That's a question I love asking. What would it take in order for you to do that? Oh, well, it would take at least 3 or 4 people's help to help me go do this thing. It's like, okay, then stop with all this other stuff. Go get 3 or 4 people's help. Right? That's just a little bit of my, I don't want to say advice, but some things that have worked for me and the mental checklists or frameworks that I have around believing in yourself and getting out of that hard spot, because there's a million different hard spots that people are in. There's a billion different people that are in that right now, if not, 5 or 6 or 7 billion people in that. But truly dig your heels in, dig deep, and try to figure out what is the one thing that's stopping you, okay? And then do nothing, and I mean nothing, but get that done. Figure that one thing out, okay? And then the next step, and the next step, and the next step. That is only if you really want to go from here in this little box, which you may be suffering in, you may not be suffering in, but you can't help but think about that next thing. You have these huge goals and aspirations. That's amazing. But this is what you need to do if you want to go from this area into this area. It is absolutely mandatory that you believe in yourself. And in addition, you take the actionable steps that require you to achieve that goal which you are trying to achieve in whatever your aspirations are. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye-bye.